What is up, everybody? It's Devontae once again. Welcome back to my channel, to all my subscribers. So we collect here every Friday of every week to talk about new ideas, events, and information that can add value into our lives in ways that we can apply in real life. For the new people, my name is Devontae. I'm a full-time worker and a part-time student pursuing dental hygiene, and eventually I would like to become a dentist. So really quick, today we're going to dive into the idea of being lazy and procrastinating. Are they always bad? So before we get started, you know how we do. Grab your coffee. Going back to our roots. I'll give you time right now. Time. Let's go. What is procrastination? See, on this channel, we use Google definitions. Procrastination is the action of delaying or postponing something. How does that differ from laziness? Well, first let's define what's being lazy, right? According to Google, lazy is unwilling to work or use energy. So obviously, there are subtle differences in those definitions. So when you're lazy and you're a procrastinator, you're not exactly the same person. What are the differences? Lazy seems to differ from procrastination in the sense that lazy is simply refusing to work. You just say no. You're the opposite of Nike. You just don't do it, and you won't do it. I don't necessarily think that it makes you lazy to not do something that people think you should do. I think lazy is more so not doing things that you know need to be done. Okay, you're not accepting that, you're not facing that reality, and you refuse to do the things that you know serve you. I just wanted to clarify that because I think oftentimes our parents, teachers, older folks in particular, because I think that this conversation is probably going to hit home more for Gen Z, millennials, and younger. Older folks tend to misidentify disinterest with laziness. So I don't want to confuse those two things. Just because someone thinks you should be doing something and you aren't doing that thing, I don't think that makes you lazy. Meanwhile, procrastination seems like the willingness to do the task. You're continuing to postpone it further or continuing to not start the work for some reason. And I think that this is a result of a couple things. I think it comes from either burnout or analysis paralysis, which is just basically getting cold feet. It's a fight or flight decision. You freeze because of all the different information that we take in and different choices that we could make. We're almost afraid to make the wrong one. So what are the similarities between laziness and procrastination? Well, obviously the work never gets done, progress is never made, and you continue to feel lost and or unfulfilled, either because you're looking at other people or you're just knowing that you could accomplish more and you don't. So is it okay to be lazy? I think procrastination and laziness is okay, with a caveat. I think it's all about what you want to accomplish. If you're someone who desires minimal results, minimal average lifestyle, with different variables at play, of course, context always matters. If you're someone that just wants the bare minimum, then it doesn't matter if you want to be lazy. That's perfectly fine. If you desire a bit more, obviously more action is needed. Input is needed for a better output. And obviously, if you do desire more, procrastination and laziness will work against you in some cases. Now, of course, luck, circumstance, race, sex, all these different things can play a part in how fast you get there, if you ever get there. And it brings me to the 2 points that I actually do want to touch on when it pertains to laziness and procrastination. So cost-benefit analysis, what does it have to do with being lazy and procrastinating? Well, in simple terms, this is Devontae's definition. Cost-benefit analysis is: what are the costs? What are the benefits associated with this project? And is it profitable to see it through? If the costs outweigh the benefits, then you could argue that you shouldn't do it. If the benefits outweigh the costs, then you could say that it's good, it's worth it. And it's usually coming from a business perspective, and you're probably familiar with it if you took economics. I'm trying to apply it to a more general perspective, like life, decisions, choices, education, work, productivity. What are the costs and benefits associated with being lazy and procrastinating, as opposed to making goals and achieving them to maximize your productivity? Starters, it goes back into what I said earlier. What do you want to accomplish out of life? If I scroll social media every day for after work for 3 hours, and I watch TV for 3 more hours, and I stay up until midnight, and I only get 5 hours of sleep. That costs me energy and time I could have spent learning, networking, traveling, working, or meal prepping for the week, grocery shopping, so many different things, working out. Benefits of doing those things like staying up and watching TV and scrolling social media were a dopamine-induced euphoria, and you caught up on the show The Last of Us, and you found out which rapper was dating what actress. There's nothing wrong with social media or TV. I'm not trying to say that. We have to assess what it is that we want and then analyze the costs and the benefits of what we do. How do they align with what we want and where we want to be? And that goes back into one of my previous videos and ideas, or reports rather, on the intention behavior gap. My next idea that contributes or pertains to laziness and procrastination is the law of diminishing returns. Now, this is going to be the opposite end of the spectrum. Cost-benefit analysis was referring to the actions that we take and whether or not they're going to benefit us more than cost us. Now, in this sense, we're going to talk about being productive. Sometimes being too productive isn't that good either. Now, the law of diminishing returns, in Devontae's definition, is the increase in one facet of productivity, which lowers the additional sought out returns. You either get rid of the new thing, the new change, or you tweak the other areas to accommodate it. In this particular scenario, the person isn't lazy and they've stopped procrastinating and they're more productive. They wake up at 5, they have a time schedule full of different tasks. They meal prep, they work out multiple times a week, and recently they started taking classes, right? But they noticed that they aren't actually progressing, they're regressing in other areas. They're tired, they're behind on their work, they have a lack of sleep, so they forget things, they have brain fog, they have a lack of muscle growth because of their bad sleep. They're always pressed for time, but they're extremely productive. It's a possibility that they should cut out the classes or readjust the other areas to accommodate the new change, which the new change would be classes. Now, in this case in particular, laziness could be a smart thing. If they were more lazy and did things that were more convenient that could save them that time, it would actually be better. So laziness can be convenient. They could have their meals delivered by a company like HelloFresh. They could order takeout through Uber Eats, DoorDash. They could get more sleep so they can retain more of the school information, the school work, perform better in the gym, see more results because they're getting necessary sleep. Now, the point of bringing up those two principles was to show you that, honestly, and I probably could have started the video with this, but what's the fun in that? There is no one size fits all answer to whether or not being lazy is okay or procrastinating is okay. Laziness and procrastination are fine lines like any other concept. In the proper context, they can be good or bad. You should make a checklist, a vision board, a journal, whatever you want to call it, and write out what you desire. Align your goals and actions with that attention behavior gap. And I believe over time and with some luck and circumstance, you will be fine. So if you want to be lazy or continue to procrastinate because that's what you're familiar with and that's what you want out of life, you need to know where you want to go. If you want more out of life, then get off of YouTube and get to work or rest or whatever else is next on your list. I love you. Take care of yourself. I'm Devontae. I'm out.